All right, let's get started here. I don't know. I know for sure I'm not going to finish the VOD reviewing tonight. I for sure will do this set here. And then I might get to the set for the winner bracket final, because this is winner bracket semis. I might get to the winner bracket final against Avec. I might not. It depends on how I'm feeling. But yeah, I'll at least do this for sure. And if I don't, finish the reviewing, I'll finish it over the next few days, type thing. So. Yeah. All right. We can kind of get started here. So to break down the picks and bans here, he won the toss. And so, he banned Exile, and I decided to ban Ruins. I did it because same thing pretty much that I do for almost everyone. Like, whatever map that I feel like they've been playing the most consistent on and the best, I'll try to get rid of that. And I felt like his play on Ruins against people recently has been very good, and he's been very comfortable there. So that's why I decided to get rid of it. So at this point of the tournament, though, it became best of 5. So we only get, the 2 map bans, and then he'll get 3 champ bans, and I'll get 2 champ bans. So he chose Awoken, then I chose Deep Embrace. I partly did this because I knew that he would likely pick Corrupted Keep or Veil, like they're in the they're like in the pool, and he's likely going to pick one or the other. So I really don't care. Like, it's okay. Go ahead and pick, one of the maps that I like. And excuse me. So I wanted to pick Deep Embrace against him, especially since more champions that are good on the map would still be available, and I could kind of know what I'm getting into. So that's why I did that. Then he picked Corrupted Keep, I picked Veil, and that left Molten for last. And then as we look at the bans, he decided to ban Strog, and this is his biggest strong point on Awoken. So when, even with the armor nerfs, he'll still play Clutch. Like, he will still potentially first pick Clutch, but whenever he gets to ban first, he has the option to choose. And so typically Doom is like one of the best picks to make on Awoken, and Ranger is decent as well, but for some reason, like in that matchup of Clutch against him, he is just so comfortable in how to play that. And especially if you're playing Doom against him and he's like always getting his shield back because you're rarely ever using punch, it just becomes a nightmare scenario, and he's learned how to play that matchup to perfection. So he's like banning Strog, which is a decent pick against Clutch on Awoken, but Strog is also good against Doom and Ranger. It's like a really good matchup against those on that map. And so by eliminating that, he is trying to bait me into a few things. He's trying to bait me into picking Athena first, because I really like playing Athena, and I'm very good at her on Awoken. But against his Clutch, maybe against others I wouldn't have as hard of a time, but against his Clutch on Awoken, the matchup could become very problematic. Because there's going to end up being a time in the game where if I'm playing Athena and he's playing Clutch, he'll get a clean kill, and then I'm this squishy little target, which, yes, I have grapples to try to get away, but it makes the game extremely difficult, and then he can just kind of do whatever he wants for quite a while. So it's doable, but there are matchups against Clutch that are better. So the matchups that are pretty decent against Clutch on Awoken are Strog, Sorlag, because Sorlag you have decent mobility and you can match the tankiness to Clutch. And then Keel. Keel is not as good as Sorlag is against Clutch, but he's still decent. It's just really all about how you play the beginning, because if you get the lead and the Clutch is having to push into you when you can use grenades and you have that big stack, it becomes really difficult for Clutch. But also on the flip side, if Clutch gets a decent lead first, it's really hard to catch him as Keel. Like, to try to chase down and to make up multiple frags, it can be pretty troublesome on Awoken. So that's why I decided to go with Sorlag, because of two things. It's good against Clutch. I want him to either pick it or just decide not to. Be too afraid to take it. And Sorlag is pretty decent against Doom. I would still favor Doom. But as you could see, he opted not to pick the clutch into the Sorleg. He thought he would have a better time with Ranger, which is, it's a decent matchup. Ranger into...
Did you know that Ison has turret syndrome?
Oh, jeez Louise. Wasted it. Thanks for the 9-month Prime Gaming resub. Congrats on your sub, baby. I should swear at you for that. Let's see. And I missed it earlier. Eterna, thanks for the 49-month resub. Thank you. But as you can see, since I picked Sorleg, he didn't want to pick Clutch. He decided to pick Ranger, which isn't bad, because Ranger's good in this matchup, and it also takes Ranger away from me on Deep Embrace or Cryptid Keep. So it's not bad for him to pick it. So it's a pretty even matchup overall. Then we go into the next map. Obviously, I don't want to deal with Clutch, so I just out of respect, I ban it, get rid of it. It's not like I can play against Clutch on DM6 or Blood Covenant, excuse me, with Athena, because Blood Covenant's not in the map pool here. So I ban that, and then he has to decide which one he feels more comfortable with in the matchup of Doom versus Athena. It's a pretty common one that you see on Deep Embrace, and he opted to go with Doom, which is the more like solid sound pick. But if the player is playing at their optimal level with Athena, Athena will be better. And yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Then we went to Corrupted, and he decided to ban Death Knight, which I totally understood. Death Knight has been very strong on Corrupted Keep recently. And then I decided to pick BJ, and then he went with Anarchy, which, to be honest, I think for the most part, BJ is better than Anarchy on this map, but the way that he's been playing, as we'll watch, and certain things that he does with Anarchy kind of allow him to play it. It's the same as, like, you know, I can probably play Athena on a few maps that others can't successfully because of how good I am with the champion. It's the same with him, where he can actually use Anarchy on Corrupted Keep a bit better and have more success with it than other people. So we'll look at that if it goes into it. And then here was a tough decision because I love to play Scale Bearer. Scale can be so tough to play against, and some of the picks that I would want to play against it weren't there. And so you could do one of two things, and especially if you look at this, Galena is also up. So I looked at it like, okay, he doesn't play Scale Bearer too often, so if I ban Eisen, which he would, you know, probably think about picking anyway, he would pick Galena or Eisen. Then if he picks Galena, Scale is really good into Galena. So then I would pick Scale to match that. If he decides to pick Scale, I'm not picking Galena. Like, there's no way that I'm going to play that. Because like I just said, it's a good matchup for Scale Bearer. I'm going to pick Keel or... yeah, I would just try to counter with Keel. And then if he picked Keel, I would likely pick Scale Bearer because I've played this matchup on both sides quite a bit. More so as the Scale Bearer than the Keel, but, you know, I just was like, okay, if he tries to take it from me, I'll play Keel into it and, you know, see what we can do. And then that forced him into banning Slash on the last map, which was smart from him because I would have first picked her. As it was Slash, Galena, Nyx, and Visor left. But then out of this, like, if we had to go to a fifth map, I thought about it a lot. And even though he's very good with all three champions, there's just been something about him when he plays Visor lately where it's like, I don't know how to explain it. He gets a lot more damage output than usual, and yeah, matchups that shouldn't be as close when they're Visor against something tend to be closer, or he wins them. So I just thought, you know, well, I should take that, and I can try to deal with the playstyle difference of whichever champ he picks. And he decided to pick Nyx, which is a pretty decent matchup on Molten Falls, pretty even. Monster R, thank you for the 23-month Prime Gaming resub. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, let's see if I can fast forward here onto it. Let's go there. Nope, we gotta rewind. Went too far. Okay. So let's see what happens. So sometimes, and this is player specific, and this will probably end up changing as we play each other more in the future, is that I know RAISY, and RAISY likes to get very creative off the spawn. And So sometimes it's very good to be aggressive against him at the start, because if you do and he mispositions,
Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year. I'm assuming it's ketchup on the other line, but it could be mustard. So Happy New Year to you both. Thank you for the 3-month Prime Gaming resub. Um, so sometimes he does some tricky things looking for an advantage in the beginning, and so you could kind of try to use that against him. And here, what happens is I spawn right here in front of the Mega, and where he spawns is right above the heavy jump head. And so there's one of two things you can do here. You can either go for the rockets, but if a champion like myself, when I'm playing Sorlag and I have air control and good movement, and this applies to Strog as well, if you're going for those rockets and they rush from Mega to Nail right off the bat, they're going to beat you to heavy, and they're going to get both items. As we see here, what did he do? He reached here, and he's trying to get even greedier off the beginning. He's trying to go for the armor above me and get the like super overstack with armor. So he's trying to deny the middle armor and get to a total of 175 once he picks up the heavy. He's like anticipating that I'm gonna get the Mega and go to LG or just go to Rail, and he's got time to do both. Whereas, you know, playing with this mobile champion like this, if you do this move, you've just lost out on full control. And let me turn this up. It seems a bit quiet. Okay.
Thank you for making these reviews open to the public. And therefore fellow players, opponents, smiley face.
Yo, Theory 1555. Thank you for the 2-month Prime Gaming resub. And of course, man, it's good. Like I've explained before, I think that information like that should be out there for people to access. Like if people want to get good at this game, they want to improve themselves, the information is out there. Not like it was when I was, you know, growing up and playing when I was much younger. Like where most of what you had to learn by yourself, or very few select people would be willing to like work with you on things. I don't think it should be that way. I think, you know, people should have a lot easier access to the information in which to better themselves. So as we continue here, you see I have the nail gun, and so since I knew he RJ'd up to go get it, he's probably not going to like drop down in time, and he only has machine gun and rockets, so it's pretty safe to like take the heavy right away and just nail jump all the way to rail and get myself a decent weapon advantage along with the stack here.
Even though he hasn't got the weapons in his arsenal, he'll be able to grab that no problem.
Okay, so I know that he's going for LG, which means I have time to quickly move over to rockets, which I do, and now I'm faking him out with sound to try to get all the weapons myself. And I do. And we both know which item is first. It's Mega and Heavy. So the only way that I'm going to get a kill here is if I catch him overextending or he misses a lot of shots, and I can kill him before Mega and get both. Otherwise, it's kind of like he's likely going to position for Mega, so I kind of have to try to just deal damage and keep timing on it and fall back for Heavy. That's like the likely scenario here between two pro players. And so here, I know the timing. I tried to spit onto the Mega so that even if he picks the Mega up, he will keep burning. And so I'm just going to go for an all-in attack here. And he positioned much more passively than I expected. I thought he would just fight like all-in for the Mega and then, you know, try to like rocket and maybe orb me or whatever, but he decided not to. But this is the problem with orbing in sometimes as Ranger. Like he was fighting really well with like LG. He should have just kept doing that. Because now that he's like orbed in, yes, he's done some damage, but he's like disoriented himself. And now he has to like turn 180 correctly and then correctly predict like where I'm going to dodge. And so now like the fight is in my advantage. And so as he's like orbed past me, I'm moving away from him so that it's harder for him to hit rockets. And now I'm moving to a space where like I'm barely like, I don't know how to explain it. It's harder for him to get the correct splash there. And so I've evened out the fight just by like my dodging and positioning to try to maximize what would be best. So we trade, and I just get lucky to get this spawn. It could have been him that got this spawn. It could have been me. It's whatever. If I got spawned at like LG or something, it wouldn't have been that bad because I start with 75 armor, and I would have been already 125, 125 because I'd pick up the LG, I'd pick up the armor, and I'd be good to go. And we'd be about even. He would just likely have like rail advantage over me, and I just have to play around that. But with the spawn, I'm pretty stacked now, and he's deciding to fight like right away. As you can see here, like I'm somehow not hitting as much machine gun. Like my spread was just not favorable. So first of all, he's playing against a tank, so at that range, there's not much spread for him. And then in the dodging, like the dodging was like tit for tat. We're like pretty much equal with each other as we're moving, but I just was not able to deal the same amount of damage there. So I should have came out a lot healthier, probably by like 50 to 75 like health and armor. But because of all the damage he's dealt, I have to back off. I can't just continue that and try to kill him. I just need to leave. And so I'm just looking for extra free damage. And so now that's given me the in on this map. And so here, like, me diving down and denying that angle is what allows me to get this armor and then to try to set up for an attack later.
Non-stop aggression from RAISY. Didn't even care that he's going back at the sword angle. All he needs.
And so this is risky from him. I've noticed and I can hear where he's at, like, because I went to T. Because I remembered as soon as I picked up the heavy off the spawn, he picked up the T armor. So one of two things. If he's at Mega, I'm going to deny him access to the T armor because he likely doesn't have orb back yet from the previous engagement. Because based off where we've been, he hasn't been picking up vials. So I went to T, and then I start noticing, like, I start scouting there, and like, this dude is not here. Like, why is he not here? And then I hear him down at Shock, and I'm like, holy shit, like, he's just going to give me the Mega for free? So I get to move over. I get the Mega. He's prioritized getting all the guns rather than getting the Mega and potentially Rail, which he had pretty much every right to fight for Mega. Like, the positional advantage he would have had, he probably could have out-LG'd me, even though he had a bit less of a stack. But yeah, so he's given up a free advantage here. So now I get to fight for heavy. I'm like trying to just zone him out with good spam. And I know he's around here. I'm so stacked now after picking up all these items. Like, I need to look for a kill here. And he misses the direct orb, and I just finished the kill. So now what I need to do is to likely trade my life. Like, that's what I'm thinking. I need to, like, get healthy enough, figure out where he's going, and trade my life, because I know that the light armor at LG is coming up soon, and I'm probably not going to be able to fight for it.
Rapha will finally bag that lead.
He does, but he's had to give up a full stack.
So I hear him up there. I'm down. I got the armor at T.
Oh, what a drop!
And so now he's trying to surprise me and to fight me here, which, to be honest, is really risky because he only has LG. He only has LG, machine gun, and no orb. If he had orb and he could close the gap if needed and do burst damage, it's a good fight based off of our stacks. But in reality, this is not a good one because of those missing factors. And so I've hit really good rockets, and then I know the Mega's coming up. I've kept him from it. And so I'm trying to go over there. And my shotgun does jack shit from that range. I think I did 4 damage, if I remember correctly. Something like that. So even though he was down to 12 health, oh, let's see here. We can do the math. It only did 12 damage. So instead of being like, 20 to 30 damage and killing him from that range, it decided to do the absolute minimum. And so instead of getting Mega in full control and capitalizing on his mistake, he manages to scrape by with a kill. But it's okay because he's very weak. He's likely just going to collect Mega, which is the smartest move to do because it keeps him alive. And that's what he's doing, which allows me to spawn near Rocket, which I know is going to happen. I know he doesn't have rail yet, so I don't have to give a shit about where he is. I don't have to care. I can just run to the heavy as fast as I want, and I can get control right away. So I get it. I hear him over at rail, and I don't want to give up the stack right now because I don't have enough weapons. And so I was looking to fake him out and like double back and maybe get railgun, but that shot is going to deter me from doing that. So I'm like, that's okay. Let me just go get LG now because I didn't spawn there, as you can see through the X-ray. So I am. And I still know, even after the rail, like I'm beefier than he is. I can fight for everything. I can get center control, figure out where he is, and, make this a game still. So he's trying to work his way around, and he's pretty much figured that I have top control and he's trying to play for the next heavy.
To pick up the rockets as well. Got the Trinity he needs in order to engage later.
And I kind of have to let it happen. I just look for spam damage because I don't have railgun yet. And even if I have Tribolt, which I likely do, I can't hit him from that range. I would only be able to hit him if he's like collecting heavy and then going to nail. So it's more about just trying to hit some spam damage, get the exact timing on the heavy, and just accepting what's given to me, and go get the Mega myself. So now we're about even. We have all the weapons. Each. I missed my opportunity to catch him there at the pad, so I just back off. I don't look for too much more. So here I'm looking to see how this fight goes, like who is going to win. Because I've caught him in a bad spot, I hit him with some decent spam. We are both hitting really good LG, and I need to figure out based off that LG where he is deciding to go. And that is going to kind of tell me what I should do. Should I go back to LG? Should I hold ground in the middle to potentially defend for the upper armor and the Mega? So I miss that rail and I just back off. If I hit the rail, I would hold my ground. But I missed. That's fine. I just go back off, get back to about 120, 100. And I'll just trade and get the heavy this time. So I do. I know that he likely knows the timing. And then here what I want to do is take a fight because nothing is available right now. Like there's the shotgun armor, but this is a good chance to like, if I don't get the kill, I'm going to make him super weak and he's not going to be able to do anything off the spawn. Like then I'll get full control back. And so what I'm looking to do is get one clean kill with Sorlag when my stack is like super high. Then I can go around and I can do whatever I want on this map. I can just totally bully him, force spawns, like just constantly keep pressure up. Whereas Ranger needs to make this a slower game. He needs to keep it a bit slow and he needs to look for me and to deal free damage multiple times in a row to like close the gap and get the kill. And he needs to get kills in areas where he can manipulate spawns pretty easily. If he doesn't and he's like having to get kills where I'm forcing good ones, I might be able to just get full control off the spawn and use my mobility against him. So I go up there. This time I like what he did though. He mixed it up because last time when the same move happened, he went to this side. This time he played it different. He's like mixing it up. And as you could see, I was looking center and to the right compared to the left. And here he's trying to orb onto the Mega, which again, he was LGing the shit out of me. And if you're orbing in when you're using LG, you need to make sure that the orb is going to kill them. That it's like good burst LG into the dire orb finish. If not, you're like throwing away a lot of damage and potential like repositioning you could do. Like the better thing for him to do there would be to like kind of keep fighting. Like he could throw the orb and keep LGing me, but just keep fighting me. And then if the fight goes sour, take the orb and reposition elsewhere. Yep. And then here, like the fight turns really messy because it gets really close. I hit really good rockets. I've been super stacked like going into the fight anyway. Like, and I end up coming out on top. Like there's times where he should have used, like in the previous one, like I said, when I went up to Mega the first time, I thought that he would use the orb earlier. And then he got caught doing the same thing. LG into orb rather than it being like rockets or shotgun into orb where it like makes more sense to keep following up with that damage. So now this is a big positive for me because not only did I get the kill, I have the lead, but he died using the orb. So now it's not the worst case scenario where he got the kill on me and he has the orb and is getting like 1 light armor. He can't get that. So I'm going to the top of the map. I know the armor's going to come up. And so I'm looking to just deal some damage to try to like keep him at bay. So I do. Hit him with a nice rail. I know that this armor is coming up, but I can beat him there. And I'm going to collect health on the way. So in reality, I'm going to be about 75, almost 75-50, so 125 total to his 100 health. Because I knew after I railed him, he doesn't have any armor. He only has the 1 bubble that he's collecting here at elbow to go to LG, and I could just storm into this room. I know that the armor's coming up. There's also, not only am I 75 health now, as I'm going to grab this bubble, there's another one there right next to the armor. So I'm approaching and taking more initiative with the items to create a stack and an advantage, and I have the weapon advantage because I didn't die in the previous fight. And I know that it's likely that he's either going to go for this LG based off of how the spawn went, or he'll double back and go to Rocket. If I catch him going for this LG and he doesn't hear me in time, it's a free kill, just like you saw. If not, no big deal for me. He goes to Rocket, he might go to Rail, whatever. I'm getting really stacked and ready for the next set of items. So it all works out for me there. I get the kill, I'm waiting for the armor. I get it, and now I know we're about even. I know that he's going to spawn probably near the rail. He's going to get the armor, and we're going to be even. So now is my time to say, okay, I can see if I can catch him going for Rocket. If not, he's probably down on the heavy, and that's cool. We'll just trade major items. But if I catch him going for Rocket, I might be able to get another free kill here. Which I do. And unfortunately for him, there is a huge shotgun whiff, and my LG was just all over him. Like, he went from 100 to 67 health so fast. So I'm going to deny this area. He can't use rockets yet because he fired a shotgun and he just picked up rockets, so he has to wait for the reload and then to switch. So I know I just need to keep fighting this. Like, I've already had a good burst of damage. I just need to keep going. So deal a shit done. And then right at the end, I know, okay, this could go south if he starts hitting a bunch of shotguns. So I just need to switch and try to deal burst damage. And so I switch instantly from LG to Rocket, hit a nice one, and now this has worked out better than it ever should have. He just didn't anticipate me getting to Rocket fast enough to cut him off. He also didn't have Orb to combo with the shotgun, which I already knew he didn't have Orb from that previous Mega fight. And this is just snowballing. This is what I want. This is what I said. I want the super stack, and I want to just run around and just constantly bully him. And so here, I grabbed the heavy and I RJ'd over to the cubby to see what spawn he would get, what's going on. And I know his orb might be coming back up soon, but he shouldn't be able to fight for this. And so, like, I slowly walked that forward. I was like, not just like, fully running for the Mega. I'm like seeing what he's going to do. Like, is he going to all in me? Is he going to like back off or whatever? And the more that he stayed in the fight, I was like, okay, I mean, this is your loss. Like, I'm super healthy. I know the exact timing of this shit, and I'm going to get it. So I get another kill. And guess what? I'm going to be 125 again. And now I'm looking for that. I almost hit that rail. That rail would have been super crucial, but I miss it. And guess what? After I'm done looking for him, he's hit a nice rail, and this is where people lose games a lot. In the middle of the game, they have this big advantage where they're up 4 or 5 kills, and they just get so greedy. They just keep going. Like right there, it's like, you need to think about it. It's like, okay, he probably has orb back. He hit a nice rail, but I can get away. And by the time that I can get away, I can go get recouped over at LG, and I could be about 100 again. So we'll be about even. And we'll both have abilities. And I know that Mega and Heavy come up, relatively closely to each other. Heavy is like 3 to 4 seconds before Mega. I can just, at that point, you just have to respect that they've made a good play and they've hit that shot. And then you play around it. You don't need to feed them more advantages. It's like, okay, now we're back to even. So let me just go get the resources that I can get safely and that give me the most flexibility on the map. And so I come here again. What do I know? I know that based off of the previous spawn, he didn't get Rocket yet. He went to get Rail, and then he railed me at Cubby, which means he definitely didn't have enough fucking time to go from there to get to Rocket. So now it's the same thing. I want to hold high ground and figure out what he's going to do for this Heavy. If he approaches me incorrectly for Rocket, I will fight him. If not, then we'll just... It's like playing footsies in fighting games. We'll just kind of test each other's distance, and I'll try to like work my way past, maybe deal some damage, and just collect the Mega, and we'll trade the major items here. So there, I catch him like being indecisive. Like, he doesn't know whether he wants to all in me for orb or not. Like, he doesn't know whether he wants to drop and hold position on the Heavy because he only has rail and shotgun. And so I'm forcing him to make tough decisions. And so here I steal the Heavy, and even though I die, it's okay, and I'll explain why. So the positives out of this are I either go up 5, okay, or He's going to kill me, and I'm up 3, but he's in such a shitty position, and he'll be weak, that he cannot force me away from the Mega.
It was a little bit off towards the end.
And that's what happens. He all-ins for the orb, and he knows that he can't not fight anymore. If he lets me get the heavy, I can either RJ low, like super fast to go get the Mega, or I can, if he tries to go high, I'm going to RJ from, you know, heavy to rail, and then I'm going to go and be healthy enough to go get the Mega and survive a rail. And then he's just back to square one. Where he's really weak, I have full control again. So he's all-inning here. Hits a nice rail. But I've stolen all the resources. There's nothing for him to get. I took the armor at LG, so he can't do anything against me there. I'm likely going to spawn at Banana. That's what I did. So I rush over here, and guess what I know? Even if he goes up the jump pad, he doesn't have orb to try to fight me. So regardless of whether I win or lose this fight, it's either I'm going to get another frag, and I'm going to get control and guns, and he's not going to have guns, and I'll play around it, or I die, and again, he's going to be super weak and then can't do anything for a long time. So I get over here, and I'm doing a lot, but he hits insane amount of nail. Then again, he was left with 20 health. So at the moment, I know off the spawn, I'm like, okay, I could just go, I'm going to do one of two things. I can get LG and go position at T right away, or I could just wait for the LG armor and then rush the heavy because there's enough time in between then, and I'll be 100 health, 125 armor to his maybe 100 health, 50 armor. He's not going to be able to survive it. He can't withstand me. So I'm going to get full control back. So I get LG, I go to Rocket, I go to T, I take this. I'm like listening for where he is. Okay, I hear him down there. And so now I'm being aggressive because I know he likely doesn't have orb back yet. I want to be aggressive, see if I can punish him before the heavy comes up. So I'm not able to do too much, but it wins me a rail. I'm going to fight for this heavy and get it. Okay, he's not going upper. I hear him pick up LG. I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I want. It's okay. I'm up by 2, and I have absolute full control now. Now I'm almost 400 total stack.
You get the frag, you come out unhealthy, you lose control. How do you get a clean frag?
So I'm just denying center map and like the items that he wants to like chip and play for. And then as soon as he's used the orb, I'm like, dude, I'm so stacked. I'm just going to utilize my air control. I'm going to RJ all in at an unexpected angle, and I get a free kill. So now I get this. Then I'm coming over here, and I could have potentially tried to get the armor at T as well, but I thought that if he rushed from LG quickly enough, and he goes through the portal, he could then deny me in that matchup, Ranger versus Sorlag. He would have good position with LG and like little chokes, and it's harder for me to LG him than it is for him to LG me, and I have to drop, which makes me even more predictable. So it's like it's better to just hedge my bets here, take the frag that I got, and go for the heavy. So I do that, I start covering angles for heavy machine gun, and now I know like I'm probably not going to get the kill here, but I have rail advantage over him. I don't have much LG, so I can't like all in. So I'm just looking to do chip damage and use my spit here. So I've spit all over it. He's like hesitant to pick anything up. I'm just missing rail after rail. But now he's stepped on the spit and I've hit a rail. So I've already done post mega. I've done 110 damage. I still have all guns. I know there's plenty of time before heavy for me to come to LG, to get this armor, to go back. And look at him. He's got nothing to play for. It's all about when you're dealing your damage in this game. So I hear him. I know I can fight for this. Because I knew, like, even if I took the rail, I could collect enough health to make me not railable again. And then he's desperately trying to push. I get another kill. I know he's likely spawned at LG, but that's okay. I don't want to look for him at LG. I want to secure position on the mega here. So I get it. I know that the LG armor is coming up, so I'm going to look for him here to either zone him out and catch him going for this, or try to catch him going for the T armor. And I just caught him at the perfect time with my movement as he came up the pad. There's not much he could do. Then off the spawn, I knew he might spawn at the pad, so I need to just be, as soon as this I come through the portal. I just need to be ready for this. And he's here. He's like desperately trying to like trade damage and get back in control. And it's hard for him to do that when I have all the guns. I have Spit. I have a super stack. Like, I don't know how the fuck that missed, but here we are. So if that hit, I would have easily killed him. But now I switched to rockets because I want to try to make sure that he doesn't bounce onto the heavy. I could kind of control his momentum. If I was using LG, I probably could have killed him, but then he might have had enough time to walk onto the heavy. So it was very important to try to go for burst damage there instead of consistent damage. So I get another kill. I'm like, okay, I'm up 7. I just need to play for the next mega, and he gets here a lot sooner than anticipated. And this is very important. The timing of the orb was perfect. He deals a shit ton of damage to me, almost 100, maybe 100, and he dodged that rocket. If he took the damage and then orbed in, this would be a shitty fight. But because he's dodged the damage and come out on top, it's twice as painful for me. And now I'm having to be careful with my aim so that I don't like just deal a shit ton of damage to myself as I'm hitting him, and that gives him a better angle. And I just don't manage to kill him. So everything had to go right there. He had to make a play happen for himself, and he managed to. So I know that I'm going to lose out on Mega, but it's okay. I could still try to contest for control with the 6 frags. So I'm just trying to figure out his positioning, what he's doing. And so he's trying to fight for this. And here, man, these are just perfect rockets. And I get a little unlucky not to push and contest him here and go steal the heavy. So after that, I just back off. Let him go get it. And all I'm looking to do here is to trade my life. I realize that now might be an okay time to catch him over at Cubby. I have Spit. He shouldn't have orb back yet from the previous fight. And I might be able to do something. I might be able to like die while I'm taking the Mega and make him really weak. And then I'm up 5 still, but then our stacks are pretty even then off the spawn. But I miss everything. I didn't get there and close the gap in time. Like, I should have been more aggressive with my angle. I played it too passively, and he played the back and forth game with LG to like make rockets difficult perfectly, and so he gets a really clean kill. And now I'm like, this should have been a perfect game where I don't have to worry about anything. But now this is doable. If he gets another clean frag and then he can force some bad spawns, like I could be in some trouble.
Just overstaying his welcome, not really too much he could do there, and yeah, let's see what RAISY can continue to do.
So thankfully he misses the rail. It was good sleuthing from him to try to like look for that. Just unfortunate miss. Oh, excuse me. Yep, so right now I'm just trying to keep tabs on timing. When he goes for that, I can go for rocket. I spit again, just to like, if he comes out and tries to fight, he's going to be spit on, taking damage, and then when he collects the Mega. So this forces his dodging to be a bit more predictable. I'm trying to deal max damage, because I know this armor is up. I'm trying to defend for it. And we're actually about even right now. He's at 200. I'm at like 175 total. So I looked to catch him, and I just unfortunately don't catch him before the portal with damage. Like, we go the portal, and I didn't telefrag him either, even though on my screen when we were playing, I was like almost like stuck like on his model. But we have a messy fight here. I end up backing off because I'm like, it's okay. If I push in, I'll just give a frag for free. So I'll just rather back off. Look to see if I can get center position, which this is a nice move that he's done to cut me off early enough and to get center ground, because I know I can't contest me. I don't have rail. So he's going to be able to get heavy. And then this is unfortunate because as I spammed the Tri-Bolt, I couldn't hear him coming through because Tri-Bolt sound is so loud. And he perfectly decides to rocket jump in. And because he's also, like, I'm having to wait for the reload time of the Tri-Bolt. Really good push. 2 perfect rockets. So I had actually done really well for myself, but I fucked it up by using Tri-Bolt at the time that I did. There are a lot of times where Tri-Bolt's very, very good to use, but there it wasn't. And I just needed to, like, hold the position I was holding, but be quiet. Like, listen out for what he's doing and just try to steal the Mega from him. And if he RJs up, have like LG ready to go and just annihilate him. But because I didn't have it ready to go right away, it gave him the opportunity to work his way in. And he crushed me. So now he's going to be stacked again. I know I'm going to spawn at LG side, so I just need to try to play for slowly getting guns now with 2 minutes left and try to make every kill that he gets, because he has to keep pressing to make it very, very painful. Oh, excuse me. Check. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Gotta put in the food order. Give me a second. Come on, get to what I want. This isn't what I want. They look like they don't have what I ordered before. So that's gonna make me really sad. All right, I can continue now. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's what I need to do. 4 frags is definitely very defensible on this map, if played correctly. It's just all about if he can get like decent kills, if he catches me, and then he has items to back onto. So, like I said, I just need to make myself super annoying to kill and like make him have to push all in at bad spots, and then where he can't like get me off spawn.
At this point, has managed to pick up the heavy. Just it's all about trying to track Rapha down there. The problem is at the later stages, especially on this map, the starting stack is going to be.
Okay, so here, as soon as he like threw the orb, I just jumped towards the Mega because where he threw it, he didn't throw it onto the Mega, and I knew Mega was coming up, so I threw up all over all over the Mega and where he would land if he took the orb, which is why you see he didn't take it. He's using it as a distraction, but this is really good because I have the benefit of being able to trade another life, and now I've taken more resources from him. And he can take a shit ton of damage, and he just can't finish it. I use my mobility to get away. And here I just have to be tricky to figure out like where he wants to go and what he wants to do so that I don't feed a free kill.
Got in, got out, and that is probably just winning the game. If RAISY got that frag, he was in with a slim.
Here I'm just trying to deal damage as he's picking it up and get the timing. Get these ads out of here. What is this? So there's noise for an ad, but the ad didn't come up? Like, what the fuck's happening? Switch is broken.
Could have been more proactive in between the items. He was just trying to rotate and do a full commit to after picking them up.
So again, here, this is a good time to take a fight and to just like, he has to come through a choke to kill me, and now I have a 3 frag buffer, and there's not much that he could do. Like, I'm going to spawn with more stack than him. I should spawn somewhere safe, which I do. I spawn at Rocket. I go get to the T armor. He can't get that either. And so now I get position. I just go for LG. And then just play for Mega instead of Heavy, because he's likely going to play for Heavy. I stand at a really tough position for him to push. I have Spit, and I heard him use, as I was moving there, I could hear him throw the orb. So I know he doesn't have it to chase me. So I'm just trying to absolutely punish him as he tries to push.
Good God.
Rail him and hit him with Spit. He gets the Mega. That's okay. Here I just I need to get more LG ammo, and just then I can safely go down to the bottom and play at very difficult spots for him to push me. He eats a direct rocket, which I'm like, oh, okay. Now that you've eaten that rocket, I don't have to go low. I can actually defend this position. If you push me, you're probably going to die. And I hit the rocket to rail combo, and that's it. It's just really tough for people to come back when they're that far down, because eventually, you have to make those plays where you're pushing through the very predictable angle. And there's not much you can really do.
Great showing by Rapha. Really impressed with his game across the board.
Good goal. D-Rack. Thanks for the 52-month resub. Thank you, thank you.
Exactly why he picked it, because he knows what RAISY wanted to do with that Ranger. He knows he wants to be run at, really to be challenged.
Oh man, this cord is dying. I have to get a new cord soon.
And it worked to a T.
I think I busted it in the flight.
To see more from RAISY in between those item pickups, a little bit too ABC
No bueno.
play against Rapha. Nevertheless, it's still a close game, irrespective of that.
Yep, it's all the way in there. Okay. Well.
Yeah, the way he was clawing himself back, yeah, I completely
agree. Okay.
You know, there's that
Let's go to the next map.
Did mention as well where if it did one of
Now it's not showing up on the bar.
God, juke him. We got
I don't like that.
Can be more, especially on way, but you know.
There we go. All right. Ooh, excuse me. Quake Champions early beta time? Yeah, it was either then or when I was playing Quake Live and Overwatch still. So, it's been a while. How do you manage to think about all the details in Quake while you're dueling? Well, most of it is experience. So the biggest things I'm thinking about when I'm playing are I'm trying to constantly keep track of item timing, because that lets me know what my options are and what his options are. Okay. The better that you are at timing, the better that you can push your advantages, because you know how far you could take your limits. And then B, because of that as well, I'm always tracking the opponent in my head as best as I can with think of it like a mental wall hack, and I'm thinking about where he can get from A to B to C as fast as possible, so that I can come up with plans based off of who can get to certain positions first, what the stacks are, what weapons, who can gain advantages that way, who can get the cutoffs, who can do what parts of the map are dangerous because of the situation of the game and how fast they can get from A to B, that type of thing. There's all sorts of shit to think about when you're playing, and then a lot of the fighting stuff is intuitive. You need to just have experience and know situational fighting, what guns are best from what ranges, what you're looking for, how to turn around fights, when you need to leave, things there's all sorts of things to think about. You put it this way, when you're trying to get good at this game, the game feels super, super, super fast to you because of all the thinking that you're having to do. But the better that you get, the slower the game becomes to you. It slows down in your mind, because your mind is already processing those things super, super fast. And it just becomes instinct and second nature to you. I'm doing what I can, Giorgio. Gandhi922, thanks for the sub. Is my keyboard on my lap? As of right now, it is. Yeah. Well, yeah, enough of that. Let's get into Deep Embrace here. Or, as a friend of mine, Blee calls it, Pirate's Cove. I think we should rename it to Pirate's Cove. I'm just saying.
Well, enough chatter from us. Let's just go straight
Way.
into this second map on Deep and Race and
Awoken
see
could be
exactly
Florida
how these
Swamps.
two are going to perform, and just see if Rapha can
Wow,
fix them.
more subs. All right. You guys, I guess I'll be thankful. Asagi Top Hat, thanks for the 2 months resub.
Closing parenthesis.
Core 3D, thank you for the 13-month resub, and the smiley, thank you. Am I enjoying competitive Halo? I'm enjoying playing ranked with friends. Like, it's been fun to do that. It's been nice to have something other than Quake to kind of like just take a little mental break before QPO gets started again. So yeah, it's been good. Now, if I was playing it competitively, Halo would be driving me nuts right now. Oh, it definitely would. But because I don't give a shit in that aspect, I'm having a lot of fun. DeFrankie, however you want it to be pronounced. Thanks for the Prime Gaming sub. Appreciate you. All right, don't you ever forget it. But yeah, all right. If you sub anymore, guys, you're gonna have to wait till the end of this map. We got to get on with the content here. We got to get going. Okay. All right, so off of this start, let me back it up again.
Definitely go all the way, but you know what? Enough chatter from us. Let's just go straight into this second map on Deep
Straight
and
into it.
exactly
Get in there.
how these two are going to perform.
Get in there, Lewis.
So
So from this, it shows me that he spawned near Rocket and decided to just do the safe option, which I like because he learned from his mistake on the last map where he lost both items right away. I'm playing, again, a very mobile champion. Just take what you should get. So he gets Rocket, Heavy, gets the Railgun. So he has that advantage over me at the moment. Whereas I have a decent stack, mobility, and I can potentially take some chip damage and collect a light armor if I play it correctly. That's like kind of what I have to do.
in the series, or if Rapha,
Okay, so I work my way over. Just trying to figure out which I should get, Rail or Rocket, based off his positioning. So I managed to get Rocket and Rail. I mean, LG and Rail there. So I'm just doing what Athena does best right now. I'm trying to find ways in and create more angles with the grapples. So I do. I tried to fake him out again. He stayed around way too long looking for damage, which he should have just, as soon as he saw me go by, just get the fuck out and try to survive. Because right now he can't fight from mid-range with LG. Just as it's hard to fight against Doom with rockets because of the double jump, it's also difficult to fight against Athena with rockets sometimes, especially when you're the weak one right now, like he is, because she can dodge, use the grapple, like to grapple hop on the ground and dodge really fast, or can potentially just grapple above you and make the where she's like shooting down on you, and then it's not really a good idea to try to go for the mid airs. Like whenever you're not really going to hit them more often than not. So here's just I've just perfectly worked my way in with chip damage in the rail, and I'm just finishing up with chasing with LG, which if he had LG, it would be much harder for me to do this right now. So, trade some good damage, though. He hits a good rocket as I get the kill. And so that's why right now I'm not looking for him. I'm not looking to take an up-close and personal fight. It could be 250-50. I'm trying to judge and just let him dictate where he's going. What is he doing? What is he going for? Can I, get any free shots on him? Is he not going to give me any free shots? And if he's not, okay, then whatever. Then I'll just play for trying to get all the armor on the map. So which is what I do. I take the top, and then I go to the heavy, and I have 150 armor. Then I know that he's likely, as I'm doing that, from his position, that he's going to go from Mega to LG, because what does he not have? He doesn't have LG. And what does he need to fight against Athena? We just talked about it. He needs LG. So I get over there as quickly as I can, and I start fighting him. And luckily, I catch him to where he can't just back out. He's not like getting LG and going back. Like, I'm going to be able to do a lot of damage here. And as you can see, by my cooldown timer, I have like 1 to 2 grapples left. I could potentially chase him down. If I need to and the fight goes south, I can get away. So I'm just, as you can see, I'm just LGing the shit out of him. Just destroying him. Because his dodging there has to be a bit more predictable, and I got the jump on the fight. And yeah, I'm just looking to clean this up. So good damage, but I predict correctly where he'll go. So nice switch to rocket from myself. And now I'm looking to, I take the bottom armor, because I knew when it would come up. And because I know the cycle of them all. And so what I'm looking to do here is to try to get high ground again. Because what I want to do is I want to keep him away from Railgun, and I want to keep taking all the armor. With the way that the cycle is going, taking the armor is the best play right now.
That frag just in case he gets into a spot of bother, but now...
So as you see, I take a much safer path than what you usually would have to with other champions. And I fake the sounds out by going low, and I go up to the top center with my grapple and start figuring out where he is, because I know that this upper armor is first before the heavy. So I'm starting to zone him, and I know that he's likely pushing up because he wants to like be aggressive and get some control back, and I hit a really nice prediction rocket. And as soon as I hit that, I know it's time to go. It's time to push in. I grapple hop in. I know this armor's coming up. He's trying so hard to fight for it, to deny it. He can't even do that. And now he's in big trouble. And so right now, if he goes for Mega, I don't really give a shit. I'll just start fighting him and killing him at Mega, and then I'll go grapple up and take Heavy. If he goes to Heavy, I'm going to chase after him and kill him, because I denied his access to the health, and he really doesn't have anything. He doesn't have many options here. So I just play the center position, wait for him, and then figure out where he's going, and I'm like, okay, I'll take the kill. And ideally, of course, I would love to get the Mega and the Heavy, but I'm totally fine with taking a kill and getting the Heavy for free now. I've denied all the armor on the map. There's not even the low armor, because that comes up around 25 to 26. So that means, guess what? After I get this shit, I can go get the vials up at the top mid, and then I could go like fight him potentially at Mega and the lower armor, and then just could try to continue this death cycle for as long as I can.
We know Athena is a strong champion, but
so as you see, I got Heavy, and I'm already working my way over there. So I know if I don't see him, he's likely worked his way over to Rail. So as you see, I've worked my way over. I start denying him access to it, and I deal some good damage. Oh, and I didn't expect him to be where he was. Actually, I thought he would be like farther back, like trying to figure out where I'm going to go. But this just ends up leading to a pretty clean kill here. Get a nice rail, and I just wait out the cooldown to get LG. And here's a really strange scenario where, let's back that up. Sometimes, especially when you're in control, you need to start taking damage to kind of bait them into staying so that you get the kill. So, because I know, as I'm going to hit this rail, as I've hit it, if I don't peek whatsoever, he'll be able to get away. And then it will be harder to clean up the kill. Whereas right now, I have enough of a stack advantage after hitting 2 rails to taking nothing that I need to keep him around. And if he wants to keep dealing damage, and he starts dealing a lot, he might think, oh, I can turn this shit around. And he'll stay rather than leaving. So I start peeking more to start taking damage while I'm still waiting to be able to switch to LG. And so instead of him like backing off down to the bottom right and making it like harder to kill him and then manipulate the spawns, I kept him around, got the kill, and now I could go continue the armor cycle again, because guess what? I took more damage. And so now I'm looking for him. I thought he might go up high. He actually took the really risky move of dropping low, because if I showed up there with LG and he just drops down, I'm going to hit him 100%. So I'm going to hit him 100%. I'm going to get another kill and armor. So his risky play paid off because I thought that he would play it safe, and I went the opposite way. So right now I know, okay, Heavy and Mega are coming up around the same time. We're just going to trade items. And I just need to try to keep playing for denying rail if I can. Just figuring out where he's at, what he's trying to do. So that's some pretty good damage from both. And now I know that he's like, since he has the Mega, he likely isn't going to be standing up by that HP bubble yet, and he doesn't have rockets to deny me, like entrance in, so it's good to try to catch him out and try to fight here. And so we just end up having an all-in LG fight. We both hit a lot, but I come out on top. No, I don't know why it swapped over to that, but whoever messed up the graphics. So now I'm trying to collect the armor and then see if I can get away, which I do. And I'm like, the win for me would be to just trade major items again. Trade major items again and keep the weapon advantage. So I hear him down below, and I have to be a bit more careful. which, as you saw, I didn't dive after him because what? He has LG, he's got a big stack, and he's got punch. I don't have any grapples yet, and it's still a few seconds before I can do anything. So if something goes south, I can't grapple back up top to get away. I can't grapple and chase after him to close the gap and, you know, make good positioning, bad positioning for him. I can't do any of that. So it's best to just play this slow at the moment.
Ray and area protect this rocket. Nothing really RAISY can do to challenge Rapha because he's just maintaining position over this side of the map.
Yep, nothing to really talk about right now. Just playing the center, listening out for him. Okay, I hear that. It's fine to like look for damage.
If the items been in sync, it should be perfectly fine. Because if they're not, then it means RAISY can literally go.
Oh, this poor guy.
What an LG.
So yeah, that's just. I figured the last few times I've been at heavy while he's been at mega. So I thought that he's probably going to do one of two things. Try to sneak to go get rail, so I'll deal damage if he does, and then I'll go over and use a grapple hook to take the heavy, and then try to get both items. Or he's going to try to take the mega and get high ground again, thinking that I'm getting the heavy at the same time. So I waited, I listened out, and he took the jump pad, and so I just roasted him. So I don't hit the rails that I should there, but it's okay. I've done a shit ton of damage. He only has the low armor to get, but I have the upper armor and the heavy armor to get. So I'm super stacked again. And so there, I grapple to steal the health, close the gap, get another kill. So now this is potential danger territory, though, because there's nothing up for a while. There's no mega, there's no light armors, nothing. And both light armors come up at the same time. So I have to try to get some health, and it's probably going to end up being like a 50-50 rail fight.
Yeah, it's going from bad to worse for RAISY. However,
so he's unexpectedly there for me. I thought he would try to catch me at the bubbles down below by like going down over there or whatever. So thankfully he misses and I trade, which gives me the time to grapple down here and guarantee that I get those safely. And so once he's done that, I'm willing to potentially take rail trades and fight for this armor. And so here, because I traded damage and I know that the light armors weren't up, I'm going to go for a gamble here. I'm going to try to gamble and fight him at the heavy and get another kill and keep control going. But I'm there a half second too late, and he successfully collects it during the fight rather than being like bounced away from it with the rocket, and he ends up getting a decent kill. So right now I need to just try to steal mega, which I didn't think I was going to have to use a grapple at all. I shouldn't have had to. This went absolutely terrible. So he's running through, and then the rocket just like somehow perfectly knocks me out of the fucking map. And then I don't even get to steal it. So this is just a huge... So I went from taking like a small gamble at the heavy and it didn't pay off, and then he goes to the mega. And it's not a bad idea for him to fight, but the way that he was fighting for the mega was really risky. Especially because he was all-inning and leaving the armor up in case, like, you know, shit went south. And just the way the rocket happened to bounce turned the whole thing around from him and gave him full control. Whereas it should have been a situation where we trade a lot of damage, and it's really difficult for him to try to keep stringing frags together. So now I'm just trying to, like, defend positions where it makes it really difficult for him to push me. But I know that I'm the one that's down right now. I can't just do whatever I want. So there, I know that I can't push in because he's Doom. He's likely just going to be able to leave and double jump to the heavy. So as soon as he had good position, I'd just say it's okay. Just trying to deal some damage and fall back. Really nice rocket from him. Into a good force spawn. And this is how this map goes sometimes. Like, sometimes you're going to die and you're going to get spawn fragged. It's just the way it is. You have to decide whether to, like, delay your spawns to try to mitigate the frags, but they potentially keep gaining full control, or whether you need to spawn early and, even though you're going to die, keep trading damage. So he catches me out here. He's going to get the mega. And then what I would have liked to have seen him do here is to go to... In this match, I would have liked to have seen him go from Mega to LG to keep the ammo going, because the only other ammo is all the way over on the bottom side by rail. is to get that and then go to the light armor. But he's trying to defend the armor right away,
Fortunate for Rapha, neither is the case.
which ends up being okay, but
Again, Rail rocket side.
now I'm at a position where it's difficult for him to push me. Like, I'm holding a peak angle where I can try to deny him access to jumping to the high ground, and it's also harder for Doom in this patch to jump from LG to this platform. You have to do it perfectly. If you don't, it's much easier to just fall to the bottom. So now I've traded free damage and we're even, at least on the stack. And so now I grapple on over, and I'm trying to get both the armors again. And so here it's I'm okay with dying, as long as I like trade out. And we've traded rails, beautiful rail from him. We both have to go for that 50-50 there. There's way too much on the line to not go for that rail. And he just happened to be the one that hits the shot. So he's going to get rewarded with the Mega. And so here I'm moving in not to get the kill. I know that the light armor is coming up right after the Mega. And I could fight for the Mega, but it's a bit risky. Because if I take one bad rocket, since he still has a bunch of guns, I could be shit out of luck and then just give up a free kill. But the better thing for me to do here is to keep him stalled back, and then go get the light armor down below, and then like go get rail, and then get position on heavy, so that he can't just push it. And so I fake him out with the sound through the portal to catch him with LG as he goes through here to try to deny this armor. And so now I've dealt a shit ton of damage, and I'm going to get the armor from him. So then I work my way up. This armor's coming up soon too, so I take it. And I slowly work my way in with machine gun, and I'm going to get everything now. And people were asking, like, how do you think of that stuff that fast? That just comes from playing so long, thinking about the game properly, and again, having the timing of the items. Knowing the exact timing allows you to do so much more than just guessing and hoping that you're there. Sometimes you'd be there too early, or you hang around too long because of that. But knowing like how long you have to get from A to B to C to do whatever you need to do is really important. And as you can see, it ends up resulting in me getting control back and getting all the armor on the map.
And RAISY's looking much better compared to what we saw at the start of this match.
Lovely self-awareness.
So he could potentially get control back kind of the same way that I did. But the problem is if he misses the rail, I'll likely have a grapple to grapple hop forward and close the gap. So I'm looking for him. I'm trying to zone him out before the fight. I know he's weak as shit. So I go get the Mega. And if I didn't hit the rail, it's okay. The smart play there is to get the Mega and try to deny him to get this armor, which worked out. But if I didn't, then I just would have went up to the upper light, and then I would have went to heavy. And at worst, he's 100 health and 100 health and 50 armor for the next 20 to 30 seconds. And I, like, again, try to find him and just keep up the pressure. But now I get the kill. I know he's going to spawn over by rail, so I rush over there, trying to figure out where he is. So I double jump up. I'm trying to look for cheeky angles. And here I just, like, I feel like I don't want to push in with grapple because too much shit can go wrong, especially with Doom Punch at this patch was better. So I'm just trying to, like, accept that I'm going to lose the heavy and I need to play for the upper light after I've dealt some damage, and I try to deny him some weapons. So he decides to push in here. So I've dealt a lot of damage as he's pushing in. And then here, as he's going for the punch, I sidestep and just get lucky that he doesn't hit me, and I just destroy him. So it worked out great for me. I got him to use the ability. I dealt a lot of free damage. And now I'm catching him, like, panicking to get position to deal with me off the next Mega. And I don't have a grapple, so I can't grapple up. So now it's best for me to just double jump up here and gain position. Let's do that. Focus on getting ammo back. Know that this is coming up soon, so I'm looking to catch him. I don't, but it's okay. I need to keep trying to zone him out before this Mega and light armor, though, which is what I'm doing. I catch him. It's a good time to fight now because he missed the rail. And I do I get another kill. I'm doing all right. I have plenty to keep pushing him. I see him over there, so now I'm trying to catch him before he goes to the heavy. And then here, if I was just a bit lower with the grapple, Athena would then like kind of roll onto like the rock wall and then into the heavy. But because I'm just barely off, like her like passive kicks in along with the grapple, and I don't have any left to come back in the map, and I'm gone. So what should have been a continuation of my control and another free kill and going up 4 and just keeping it going, I go for a dip off of Pirates Cove. And now I've lost control. But I'm going to try to play the center position game. Know I can get the light before he's trying to contest me, and I'm just trying to figure out what am I allowed to do. What is he allowing me to do right now? And so I was going to go get the rail, but then I heard him jumping towards me, and I knew if I kept going, he's going to rail me for free. So I need to make this as difficult as possible, just try to trade some damage, and just stall him. Okay, so he went all the way to rail, and then I don't know why he walked up the way that he did. I guess he thought he could get through there cleaner, but I've done a shit ton of damage, taken all this, and now he just gave me a freebie. Like, I don't know why he panicked the way that he did, but he didn't need to do that. Like, he went too deep to rail, and then once he did that, he just needed to accepted the fact that he shouldn't push me, and he should just leave. There's still plenty of time to come back when you're down 3. But he got over aggressive to try to take position to contest for Mega, and it totally failed. So here, I'm not trying to like give shit up for free, so I'm just taking my time, trying to damage him as he gets a rail. But it's really tricky fighting at this bridge, and especially with his double jump and the fact that he has rockets. So I'm just playing as safe of angles as I possibly can. I punish him a little bit, go get this, and now I want to, as soon as he goes through here, I want to fight for this. Because he doesn't have LG yet. It's going to take him hitting 3 rails in a row to kill me. I get another kill. That grapple was just gut reaction if the rocket doesn't kill. It's just to okay, more ads. We could just hear them. Okay, thanks, bud. I'll get into this second. So yeah, now the game should be well in hand for me. I just need to keep applying a bit of pressure and just focus on items, which is what I'm doing. I'm taking fights where like I'm dealing damage, and even if he rails me twice, I get away and get control. I swing in. I'm taking my time, like to let him move around the map. He's still weak. He has nothing. I'm just securing everything. I can go get this. I know that the armor comes up soon, so I grapple over. Well, he's waiting for it because he has nothing to really play for. Here, I just have to accept it. I just have to back off. I just look for a little more free damage here. And at this point in the game, I just start hitting rails. I think like I hit like 7 something in a row here for the rest of the game. Yep, dead.
Dodging around that, using his weapon advantage to exploit the weaknesses of RAISY. You can see desperate.
Yep, another 3 in a row.
And this will be Rapha's map.
Sorry, I missed one, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see a reverse sweep from RAISY in order for him to come back from this matchup. But of course, for you guys at home, if they come from the winner's side and go into the grand finals, they will have that 1 map advantage. And the way these guys are playing, every little helps at this stage. Just wait for it to finish, and you know, nice little style points here. Now, I think I have to talk about Rapha a little bit just as a whole. Like his aim today compared to what we saw in the previous match earlier on and yesterday seems to be a lot better, a lot more improved, and he seems to be his old self. Like, you know, when he back and won those first 3 stages in the last QPL season, he's like back in old form.
I couldn't agree more, and I think if anything, RAISY looks a little bit off of his game.
That's it.
I feel he's...
Let me fast forward to the next screen necessary for it. There we go. I need to go get my dinner. I'll be back. And water. Yeah, water. I'll get another one. Be back in a few. Your question, what would turn you off competing in Halo? Well, the aim assist from controllers, I'm sorry, is like way too out of proportion compared to what you can do and play with, like with the accuracies on mouse and keyboard. So that's why. But like just playing it for fun is fine. Like I don't care about that. But competing, yeah, it's a huge problem to me. So if they end up making like mouse and keyboard only tournaments, etc., then that's fine. I would could definitely consider it, but as of right now, no. Baka_CS, thank you for the 20-month resub. Hope you guys can bear with me. I'm going to eat some dinner before we get into maps 3 and 4. So yeah, I'm hungry. I know it won't take too long. I'm not going to eat it all. I'm going to eat half and save the other half for later. What am I eating? What is it? Sweet and spicy Cholula chicken. This is a mouthful. Quesadilla from Qdoba with fajita veggies inside. Fucking delicious. You want me to sign your shirt? Well, I don't know about that. If you get enough points on Liquid Plus, Ricobla, you might be able to request that. I can't just tell Liquid to do that for everyone. That doesn't make sense. Those shirts cost money. But I think you can, like, if you get enough points in the Liquid Plus, which I think it's now an app, like you can have it on your phone now instead of just using the website. So yeah, if you get a Liquid Plus account and you get enough points, you can trade it in for whatever. So, I think it's pretty common that if people save up enough points, they can get like a what's it called? They can get a shirt or something like that, or a mouse pad or whatever signed by their favorite player. Yeah, see, there you go, Augmented. There. It's there. I forgot to unflip this. How you do? Yeah, I don't know about you, Kanavakil, but I'm the type of person that, unfortunately, I can't have it be super dark all the time and have like a screen on. For some, I can handle it at the movie theater because I think the screen is big enough and whatnot. But if it's like just a monitor or just a TV, I can't do that shit. I can't have like too much darkness all the time. Like, it gives me headaches. Like, too much darkness will make me depressed. I gotta have some light somewhere, even if it's just like a little bit of like, like this one. Like, it's just a little sun. I actually don't know. I've loved all sorts of different matchups, Rico. I think it's just kind of depended on the era, because I've had a few eras where like I've matched up against specific people multiple times within like a year to 2 year span, and then there goes a while where I don't meet them in the bracket anymore. So like there were plenty of times where it was Cypher and I were battling it for the top. Then there were times where it was Cooler and I battling for the top. Then Avik. Then it was back to Cooler. Then it was back to pretty much just me and Cypher for a while. Then it was the matchup with Evil, and typically I would have to play Dehang to get to whoever. I would have to play Dehang to get to Cypher or to get to Evil in like the quarterfinals or the semifinals of tournaments. And then now in Quake Champions, the most like frequent matchups for me have been Kilson, Venger, RAISY, pretty much have been like the ones for me which I've played the most, and they've all been really interesting. And I always still love when I get to play Cypher. Let me see here. We got to play how many times? Was it just 2 times last season or 3? I feel like we played 3 times last season. So, which is that's for the international stuff. That's a lot. Is this queso? Have I been missing out? Yes, I have. Okay. Happy holidays to you too, Claudia. No thanks. Canine Kibbles, I'm trying to keep my heart going a little longer, okay? I'm not trying to drink queso like it's a smoothie. Yeah, the queso is really good, so.
Marth Hi Merry Late Christmas.
Casket the Clown. Thank you for the 21-month resub. Thank you, thank you. FaZe, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it, appreciate it. All right, this is my last one, I promise, because I'm going to save the other 2 for either later tonight or I'll just save it for lunch tomorrow. Oh, I mean, I've played Tox plenty of times. It's always been a huge matchup of. It's not as, and when I say this, it's not as though he's dumb. Like, don't take that. But it's always been the whole which can win out, brains over brawn type thing. You know, aim or brain. Just because of how strong his aim has been for years and years, and so it's actually been very interesting to play him in the past. Especially when my aim was not as good, because it felt like it took even more to beat him. But I really liked playing against him in 2v2. I thought that he played really well in 2v2, and I mean, I think overall, you could obviously say in 2018, Dehang and I were the top 2, like 2v2 players, because we won everything. But then I would say, like, I would argue that Toxic was the next best player in the 2v2 circuit, because he finished, I believe, 3rd for the first LAN in France, and then he finished 3rd with Hran, then he finished 2nd with Claws at QuakeCon behind us, and then he made it to the finals again with Cooler for that DreamHack Winter. So he made, almost every final. His consistent placing was really well. Like, his performances were almost always, really good. So I think that year, like, you could definitely say he was like the 3rd best, and then I would say after that you'd have to say Claus was 4th, since he made 2 finals. Do I miss Yan shipping? Actually, I do miss going there. Even though it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost always been a nice experience, like playing at DreamHack there. So, but yeah, I miss it. Do I prefer time limit duel or round duels in ranked? I gotta say, from a casual standpoint, round duel was better, but from a competitive standpoint, time limit duel is so much better. I just wish that for the ranked, there was some sort of like banning process, or like even now, like you had, they could even use the same select screen that they had before for the round duel, and you could select 3 champions, and then it would randomly select which one that you're playing for the map that you're going to play, so that you don't have people that are constantly playing. You're playing against at certain ELOs. You're playing against Doom every single game on Awoken. It would have to be like, oh, you can't just select Doom. You have to select Doom and 2 others, and then it will randomly select like that. Just for ranked would be nice. The way that the pick bans are for Pro League is perfect. It does not need to change at all. Yo,
Cool
thanks, Get Some
Amazing
Jelly. It
Spider-Man
was
number
given to me as a
55
Christmas
shirt
gift.
smiley face.
Oh. Need me a napkin. No, this quesadilla is falling apart. What do I think of Quake World? Quake World's fine. I like watching some of the competitions from time to time, but I mean, I like playing, you know, Quake 3, Quake Live. I mean, if Quake 4 was better, Quake 4. And Quake Champions is. I've really enjoyed Quake Champions because I get to play all the Quakes in one. I agree. Defrag does make better duelers. Because I focused heavily on getting really good at movement when I was younger. Especially because I not only did I like duel, I liked CTF. I was like, first of all, I want to be able to run the flag as fast as possible if I play offense. And secondly, my thought process was if I can learn to move the fastest in duel, which I felt at the time there were just a couple players that moved super efficiently back then. I felt like that could be improved upon. You could move even better and create more advantages. But the thing is, the faster that you move and you know the limits, the better you can track your opponent in your mind. Because you know that absolutely they can't get there any faster than what you could have if you're moving the fastest all the time. So you can judge where they're going to be from here and there. And it really helped. Definitely. This quesadilla is fun. Not enough cheese in this quesadilla. It's not sticking together. You know what? Screw it. I'll just end it there. The eating, that is. And I'll get on with the maps and I'll eat again later. Give the people what they want.
Keep versus Rapha.
Oh yeah, I need this. I need the earbuds.
His, well, his favourite map. I think fallen down the pecking order very slightly since then. I think BJ versus Anarchy is it's unusual. Again, it comes to a playstyle thing. I think Anarchy, when played right, can be exceptionally strong on this particular map. However, the weakest time in the Anarchy's life, and any like Chopper's life, is just off the bat when you've been killed because you have no starting stack. Often you've used your ability in the previous fight. what are you meant to do as an Anarchy when you can be refragged after refragged on this particular map? And then with BJ, you know, heavy machine gun, Rapha's innate ability just to know where you are and do chip damage at all times.
But in the end, no.
We gotta back this up.
Very well, and this is going to be the
Okay.
third map here. Could be the final
Let's
map
get it
of the
started.
evening, depending on how RAISY plays this out, and of course the Anarchy.
Okay, so this spawn you can do a few things. You can either go for, you get the nail. Let's full screen it, and then let's make sure everybody can see everything, right? Yeah. Okay, we good. We good. So you get the nail and you go straight for mega, like you get the armor, get the mega. But the problem is this player is going to spawn on rocket, and they can typically get there fast enough so that as you're trying to get the mega, if you just run in there, that they'll hit you with a rocket. And so then they get a pretty decent advantage off the start, even though they're not getting LG. So you could do that, or you could try to bait that weird fight out. But this time I wanted to go for the armor and just go get the light, get the heavy, get shotgun. Because dual wield shotgun can be pretty devastating. It can overcome the LG deficit sometimes. So I pop it to just kind of like move my way into here. And here, this is a little too greedy for me. I'm like hoping for way too many rockets to hit like ledge splash, and I should have just not fucking gone here. I should have just backed out. It took like 5 to 6 rockets before I finally hit any rockets at the ledge. So here I know he has LG advantage over me, so I can't just get caught out by it, and I kind of just need to accept the fact that, you know, he got the lead, he's going to have LG advantage, and he's going to get mega again. And so I push my way through. I go and get that machine gun first. I have to just look to slowly make trades and work my way in.
So important. A vital piece of utility in order to try and keep your
I like what he's trying to do. He's like just trying to listen. He's not in fear of dying immediately. And I don't know how. Like, let's watch that again. I don't know how he was so far forward from the armor and got the armor. See, look at, he's forward and he kits and gets the armor. I feel like he should have been able to kit but not get the armor. And so now that allows him to get away. So he uses the speed, he doubles back, which is smart. I go over, get the other armor, and get the mega. So we're pretty even right now. We all have the guns we need. And so the thing that he needs to try to do in this matchup is to get more vials than me. To get his kit to constantly be up, to be annoying, and to keep me from being able to rush him with dual wield.
But in the end, no, RAISY not looking too bad, but stacks almost equal.
So as you can see, he's playing this really nice and cautiously. He is playing the matchup the way that it should be because all it takes is for him to take one wrong path and I catch him with dual wield and he just throws away control. So I like how he's trying to manipulate sound, trying to listen for me, you know, trying to catch him at certain angles and just playing it slow. He's playing it slow right now. It's like he's playing ABC tactics and it's totally fine. Sometimes that's what you need to do. You just need to play slow, fundamental, quick.
Trading items. Maybe not trying to press his advantage. He's got inject up. He's also aware that
He's just trying to bait that shit out.
And have that dual wield, so it's always going to be a risk to push into that.
Ooh, lots of damage there. Feels rough, man. So now I need to play it a bit safe because he has the advantage over me. And I'm just trying to zone him out so that I can go get this mega. He just devastated me there. That should win me the low armor, but he should come out on top here. Yeah, he's going to be... I know I can't go for the health because he can use his mobility to get there. Wow, he actually pushed there again. I just didn't expect him to re-peek the same angle when I have position. And he just caught me at the perfect time as I looked away to move out the room.
That's what we've seen on the previous maps. He's trying to push the advantage too much. However, on this match, it is more restrained, and therefore he's making...
It's good that I dealt that little bit of damage there. This is like the perfect fight for me to catch him. I know like that he's trying to fight me a little bit and like delay this armor pickup. But now that like I can go here and I'm gonna have dual wield come up, this is like the perfect chance to catch him. And he just hits every single direct rocket that he needs to. Just really unfortunate to have gotten deleted like that. I had expected that even if I died, that I would, or not even if I got the kill, worst case scenario that I would be weak and then I could like force him to spawn where I wanted. But that just turned out terrible. And he's doing, again, he got enough vials to get his kit back, which gives him potential. So here, I'm not necessarily looking to kill him, because I don't have the guns, but I get Mega and I know I can get Heavy, and I need to try to like slowly work my way in here. I can't just try to be overzealous and get the kills back immediately. Yep, smartly he leaves. He's potentially in a lot of trouble here, because I've denied all of the armor, everything. But then there's just something about this area, like, if you let RAISY get to this area, it is so fucking hard to deal with him. Nobody else plays the back of the Mega with LG like he does. And he manages to win a Mega that he shouldn't have, with how like the stacks have been going before. Oh my god. Alright, so then not only did he get away with the kill earlier at Nail, now he gets away with another one, pushing way too aggressively and survives with 5 health. So now he gets Heavy again, when it should be 3-1 with me getting the Heavy and denying the light that's coming up. But it's not the end of the world. I am down 4, but I can contest for this next Mega.
And I like this. It's very conservative, just making the right plays, making the right decisions as well. Just not really rushing into anything, not overextending.
Really nice LG. Just hit 2 perfect rockets. Where it bounced me was a horrible area, and he followed up properly.
Build up momentum going to the next 2 matches, because like we said, we've still got Veil with, especially the scale versus kill matchup straight after this. And for Rapha, he's gonna definitely struggle a little bit further here. Using the heavy.
He's just dealing so much more damage than what you usually take. I remember this game, it felt difficult to hit him. And not just because of like the hitbox size, because there's other games where I played people on light champions and it was totally fine. But just for some reason, it just felt tough to output the usual damage here. Partly due to his dodging, and then other times it just didn't feel as good as usual. So 6 is not undoable with 5 to go, but against Anarchy, this is like prime. This is like, you think of like pre-game goals, and being up 6 against BJ at 5 minutes is a good like benchmark for Anarchy, because worst comes to worst, you can play the running game, and it could be almost impossible to catch you.
Completely the opposite way in which he was playing. Much more calculated, much more efficient, and he's making the Anarchy pick look incredibly smart.
And so he's just playing the low ground because he's out of control. This is a risky, yeah, this was really risky for him to do that. But so I get my first kill. I have dual wield, I know I can pop it and just kind of fight my way for this Heavy, which is what I need to do. Of course, in a perfect world, I'd be able to get the light and the Heavy, but doing that would have put me way too out of position and made it too much of a risk. So I just needed to play for what I could get there. And a lot of this right now is like trying to catch him, like over here at the vials or up at Tribolt. And it's about like faking out sounds, and you just have to guess, is he behind door number 1 or door number 2? And you have to select the perfect one, and if you don't, he's gone. He's just gone, and you have no say in the matter. Because even if you LG him from the back, he just holds forward and it boosts him, and he just out of here.
The chip damage, the heavy machine gun, the nail gun, the Tribolt. Haven't seen any of that, which is very typical for Rapha. But also, RAISY's just been better at using the vials. He's on his 9th inject already. Barely seen the dual wield.
Yep, he's doing what he should here.
Areas, but we've seen
I
a lot of
just didn't
evidence
catch him.
of it in combat.
So I'm trying to be creative with rocket jumping up there, and it almost works, but then he kits, and I can't just drop and chase him. Oh my god, the shotgun whiffed. I was actually close enough to be able to do enough damage, and whiffed the shotgun. So I went and got the Mega, and I'm like trying to clear him out of heavy. And like, even though I need the kills, I can't just let him get the major items. I have to focus on them, or I'm not going to get them. Like, get the kills. Oh, there's another weird ad, again, that we can't see, thankfully. But we can hear. So I'm just keeping track of the cycle of all the items so that I can try to, you know, deny him and catch him out.
A full lockdown here. He's actually forced out the injuries. I don't believe he would have heard that.
And here I didn't want to like go for him at the light armor, and then he gets away and gets a free heavy. I fucked up the rocket boost. Yep, see there? If I guess that he's going to the pad there correctly, he dies. If not, he gets away. And he go. And now he's at another position where he's like listening for me, and he'll run the other way. He RJs away, which is a smart thing to do. I just have to keep like going for that and hopefully just catch him. Make the right choice. And the problem is here, when I picked this up, I knew like coming back was almost impossible because that light armor up there is the same time as heavy, and I can't really afford to offset. And yeah, because he can just constantly stay away from me. So there I'm like trying to do tricky stuff to like hope he's playing down there. And I don't even get a shotgun blast. I get like knocked up. So annoying.
I think that's just won the game. It's so frustrating for Rapha. He's trying to chase RAISY.
So yeah, he's going to get the light armor, and then he's likely going to get Mega. But I'm like running over to see if I can contest him for it. And by that position, I know that it's still up. I'm like looking for him.
So I'll be surprised if he even gets a Frank before the end of the game.
Because I need to try to get the kill and then collect the item after.
He's also got a champion that's just much quicker.
And that's that. Sometimes you just have to take like a little risks at the end. Like you have to leave an item up to try to get the kill and then go, and then it just doesn't work out. There's just not enough time. And he's gonna back over again and run. This is why I said, like, being the lead that he had, it's really hard to win this matchup when you're playing from behind. This is a very feast or famine matchup. Like BJ just crushes Anarchy and is constantly putting pressure on him, or Anarchy like gets a lead and just runs forever. It's just the nature of it.
Kind of see Rapha dying inside, trying to chase RAISY around. He's just like, what can I do?
It's not trying to catch a fly, is it?
Yeah, exactly. He's making all the right reads, but this is great champions. He's got a champion that isn't quick, and RAISY has one that can go quick and move through the air. So what on earth is Rapha meant to do? You can't even outbrain them because they can just heal from the other way.
Subtle hustle.
21 months of lessons. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Well, thank you for the 21-month resub. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Happy New Year to you too.
I don't think Rapha's heart was in it then, because he knew.
Well, that's the thing, Ink Dipper. You can't rage. Like, especially because, look, I'm up 2 maps in the set. He played very well and did what he needed to do to win. But this map's fucking over. So, like, in the last, like, 30 seconds, I'm just still trying to, like, keep warmed up. But I'm already thinking about the next game because that's over. So I'm thinking about, okay, what can I take away from this game that I need to avoid in the next matchup? What is my game plan with the Keel versus Scale going into the next one? What are my do's and don'ts at the beginning? What are my win conditions? You know, things like that. And just start thinking about that. Like, you just have to be able to put the bad shit behind you, and you just have to forget it. You have to move on with your life. And if you don't, you keep holding on to that anger and that disappointment, it just leaks into the other maps and just, you know, gives free advantages that, you know, they don't deserve. Yeah, RAISY does some tricky and creative things, and a lot of it is like, how do I explain it? You have to play. You have to play like you have high anxiety. Like RAISY could be around the corner at any moment. You know, like there are certain things that you could kind of rule out, but like, you know, will he double or triple back for that peak? Will he, you know, do this or do that? You like have to like try to just prepare yourself for anything. Like if he's potentially within your reach, you need to expect that he can do shit and play around that. Any news about next season? Not any that I can give you. They'll announce when they're ready to announce when it starts. So all I can say is soon. That's it. That's all I can say. I will start preparing for the season soon. So there you go. Soon TM. Or as 40 likes to say, very soon. Wasn't it weird to sit so close? Nah, not really. I've had to sit that close in like other tournaments before. And honestly, we have noise canceling earbuds with noise canceling headsets on top. You can't really hear the other guy. It's not a big deal. So, and thankfully the lighting in the place was bright enough that you can't see teleport flashes. That has been a problem at LANs in the past, where if you're playing too close to a certain player and there are no fucking lights around, guess what happens? They go through a teleport. Oh, there's a flash in my peripheral vision. I guess they took a teleporter. And the thing is, like, as soon as you take one, they're going to see it too. That's just an unfortunate situation that happens. Like, it just is what it is. It was more so a problem in Quake 3 and Quake Live than it is in Quake Champions. No, I like that they're facing away because think about it. If they're facing towards each other, there's a potential chance where like you could like just glance down across from them and you could like see that their hands are completely still. So then that gives you the opportunity to know, okay, I know they're probably in this area just holding this angle now. They're not doing anything. So the fact that we can't see each other's like selves, we can't, you know, see anything, it's perfect.
Having 4D chess level of knowledge and experience in this game is good, and all but nothing beats the straight-up half-pixel shot to win the tourney.
Huh.
Like not even. Looking back at the clip, I could not see a single pixel of the head of the other character on my 1080 monitor. Also yeah, Merry late Christmas.
Thank you for the bits, Dixidity. And yeah, I mean, I said it in the interview after. It was pretty lucky. I could see the pixel on my screen, barely, but it's more just like I just took the shot. I just hoped that he ran into it going for the mega. He was like panicking to go get it, and he did, and that was that. Correct. The chairs would not go high enough based off those decks. So like I took my thick hoodie and I folded it like once or twice, and then I would sit on the hoodie, and it was like high enough for me. But some players had pillows they would bring, and they would sit on those. So yeah, it just needed to sit higher. Otherwise, like my arm was like this, and no, this no good.
Map as well being on
Okay, let's get to
in tip-top shape, and the top players
taking care of business.
We're talking about who's got that.
Okay, so this is another matchup, kind of like I explained.
Can't remember.
In the beginning, with if I were to pick Keel for Awoken and he would have picked Clutch. As the Keel player, the start of this game is super, super important. You cannot be the one that's down and chasing for kills. It just can't happen. Scalebearer is too mobile. It's too much a pain in the ass. to catch and to force him to make excuse me, to make mistakes. You need to be making the game extremely even, or you're the one in the lead and forcing him to come to you and to go into all that grenade damage. So win conditions for the beginning are to really play a solid start, to not really go for things that are super risky, and just once you find the opening, fucking go for it. Once you find it, you go for it, you get the lead, and then you start like putting the pressure on as best as you can. But don't give him anything for free. If he gets a free kill, it is a nightmare to play this matchup. And I would know because I play the skill bearer in this matchup a lot. So yeah, let's get this shit underway. 2 beefy boys enter the server, 1 leaves. All right, so he gets a great spawn, to be honest. He's going to get the LG, get the rockets, and then he should be able to turn around instantly and just go get Mega, which is what he's doing. Okay, and then I was stacked enough and had dealt a bit of chip damage beforehand that I knew that he hadn't got the Mega already. So I started working my way towards the rocket. I knew I wouldn't be able to likely get LG, but I could at least secure myself RL. And then I go to rail. It's like I said, I'm just playing it super, consistently. Just trying to slowly work in some advantages. And here, I've gotten myself all the weapons. I slowly worked my way around, and I made it so that if he tried to attack me there, we could have rocket grenades against his charge stuff, and it would have been pretty messy. So he didn't want to take it, which was pretty smart. So here he's like faking, trying to go through the portal, like where he wants to go. And here I'm like fuck this, dude. I'm gonna go get this heavy, and then I know when the Mega is, and I'm gonna fight him from an area that's tough for him to use the charge. You can, but it's very difficult. And it's tough to stand up there, and you can if you hit the nades on the rocks correctly, they will bounce right onto the Mega. So I'm just trying to punish him for this pickup. Which I do. Oh! Then you get the rail to grenade combo, which is just early Christmas present for me. I didn't expect to get the kill after the nade shot, but just rail grenade. That's why it's really important to make sure you have your ability on a key where you can animation cancel and you can time correctly, because if you fuck up and you fire the nade first, then you can't shoot the rail because there's like a 0.4 second delay between shooting nades and then shooting regular guns again. So it's really important to be able to shoot with your primary first, then shoot with the grenade.
Wow. Random grenade.
So then I go down to collect this armor because I know that where I killed him and where I'm at, he's likely not going to spawn over here by Mega. And so that's going to allow me to try to look for chip damage, and if I take damage, like a rail or something, I could fall back on this light armor before the next heavy.
Even from that angle,
trying to use all the resources to my advantage. So he managed to work his way there really early, collected the armor, but that's okay. I got through, and now I have high ground for the next heavy. And same thing, Mega comes up shortly after. So if we're going to play the same scenario, I have enough ammo. I could take the fight again.
That was a risk that certainly paid off, and Rapha's still good.
So I just make sure that I secure it with spam. I get out of there. Now guess what? We're going to fight for this shit again. Just making it tough for him to fight too easily. Hit him with another rail. Now he doesn't have anywhere to go. A miss. And now those nades force him to drop. And right there, he should have been able to deal some damage. He should have hit that rail. Him missing that rail is pretty big because now I'm going to be able to be about 100-100. Because this is coming up. Whereas I would have been 100 health, 50 armor. And he probably could have taken control back because he would have had rail. He would have been healthy. He would have had charge. Maybe starting shotgun. But yeah, him missing that rail meant a lot. And here he fucks up his movement. And this is from him his sensitivity is too low to play this champion the way that you need to play it. And so we'll watch this again. And he fucks up by trying to be too unpredictable with the movement and walks back into spam. And what he was trying to do is go through the portal and turn around immediately. And he messed up and did it too early, and now he's piped. Boom. And then even though he charges me at close distance, it's not enough time to build up enough speed because the rocket had stopped his momentum, so it only did like 50 or 75 damage for the charge. And then I just waited till I got hit and instantly rocket grenade comboed him and just deleted him for 150. So that's perfect for me. I still got, you can't see how many grenades, I don't know, because of the spectator bug, but I definitely have at least some. I'm still healthy, and Heavy's coming up. And he doesn't have charge. So he can't even try to like charge into the area to steal it. So him being down 3-0 is okay because there's plenty of time left, but he needs to slow the game down. If you don't slow the game down now and you start getting down by like 5 or 6, that becomes a big problem, because every time that you're trying to kill Keel, like, you're having to go through choke points most likely, and you're going to have to take a shit ton of damage to trade out. Yeah, but Galena would not have been good. I already explained this before. Him picking Galena, I would have picked Scale immediately, and that is a great matchup for Scalebearer. So it just gets to a point where there's so many spots that Galena has to play perfectly where Scale doesn't. And yeah, you just run her over.
Anyway, decent-ish rocket from RAISY, but it's just down below, just preparing for the heavy. Got to hit early, so I'm not too sure.
So yep, I'm just slowly like baiting it out, accepting that I'm likely going to have to start playing for just one item. Let's see here. We have this fight, and then look what I've done here. All right. So I'm looking for where he is. I'm not just dropping down. He shows himself. We start fighting. I cover that angle, so I know he's not going to go back through the portal. And I start fighting. But right here, since he decided to jump onto the pillar first, onto the heavy, he can't charge me. Since he has no momentum, the charge will take him straight to the ground. It will be an absolute waste. And then I could just jump on top of heavy and then destroy him with rockets. Now that he's jumped over here, he's so far away to use the charge that I have so much time to manipulate his movement. And I'm dealing damage to him the whole time. Granted, it's like 2 damage a tick with LG, but I'm still dealing consistent damage. And he's not going to be able to hit me. Like, he just did not use the ability and position himself in the right way at all. And now I just get another free kill. I'm so stacked. And Mega's coming up. And he doesn't have charge. And so he's going for this stuff. And just like I explained in the Seneku game yesterday, that it was very important that multiple times during the game when he was going for the vials, he was checking the most vulnerable angle that he could be hit from. And here, RAISY's not. I come through, I hit a free rail, which allows me to keep moving forward. And I just destroyed him. And here, I'm not worried about chasing him too quickly. I don't need to. I could just keep working my way around, just use shotgun to keep sussing him out. I hear him screaming. It's just important for me to keep getting control and leave him weak. As long as I don't die, I'm good. I catch him at the health. He unfortunately misses the rail. And he dies. I'm going to get 2 shotguns off before he gets 2 rails. And so now I am super stacked again. I just need to keep looking to cut him off, keep creating pressure. Very nice move from him there. Okay, now I need to start backing up. He won himself the situation. I missed too many shots. I just need to keep high ground above heavy because he can't charge me. If he takes the pad, I can drop for the heavy. I just want to deal damage, and look what I'm doing as well, because I knew that the Mega was going to come up about 10 seconds after the heavy spawns. So what am I doing? Even though this heavy spawn, I'm keeping him from getting it. He doesn't want to take like a direct rocket and a grenade while collecting the heavy. Plus, it would take 2 rails to kill me, so I'm likely going to get railed and then leave and go to Mega. So I'm trying to just stall him. Stall him as much as possible so that he can't get heavy and then position for the Mega with his charge and, you know, kill me pretty easily. I'm trying to make it so that it's a nasty trade. Yep, so I've stalled him enough, and now I get to get over and... Yes, he's collected the 100 armor and denied it from me, but I get to collect a total of 150. I'm going to get up to 175, and I'm going to collect this armor. So I can defend myself. And here, I know he needs like LG, and he might try to just come through and get top ground, so I'm trying to create a fight here. I deal a shit ton of damage, dodge unpredictably, and now I'm really healthy again. Oh, and I hear this, so I'm going for more damage. And here, I'm trying to let him decide what he wants to do, because I know he still has charge, so I likely can't kill him. So I need to let him kind of pick. Does he want to go for heavy or go for mega? So he goes for mega, I deal a little damage. It's okay, let's just trade off. It was like too much of a risk there to go for an all-in, and then he gets like shotgun charge shotgun. That I end up dying and giving up both items, and that's what I cannot have happen. So that's why I'm just playing the position game. Just playing to protect the lead and to force him to come into bad fights.
And I like this as well. Just not only is he trying to take RAISY off guard from a different angle, but also at the same time he's
just listening out. I know he's likely going over to the portal, so I'm trying to deny him early access here.
Instances can occur, but especially against the scale, this is what you need to do. Just keep your distance. Oh, the tri-bolt as well. He's looking to
yep, zone him out. I'm like, I'll take the mega this time. And I guess when I spammed the nades and they were exploding, he didn't hear me jump or something. And so he faked going to heavy and comes back, and he's not even looking, and he rocket jumps at me. So he charges, and that feels rough, man. That's like worst case scenario for that boy. I mean, him dying would have been absolutely worse, but this sure ain't good. But I think this is just showing also just inexperience in not just playing scale, but playing scale in this matchup. Because this is a pretty even matchup, but you can't be making the mistakes that he's been making with movement and positioning with the charge and stuff. You just can't. And for the most part, the charge needs to be utilized in this matchup for you to, like, you deal a bunch of chip damage to Keel, and you out-rotate him on the map with your mobility, and you use the charge to secure Mega or to secure Heavy and go on with your life. And then eventually you whittle Keel down by just starving him from the map and you get kills. It gets really messy if you are trying to use the charge for fighting. It's very hard to use it cleanly, like it is in other matchups.
But I will just throw out there that it's very hard to get a refrag on a heavy. So that lead is.
So I just missed. Now I'm just zoning him still. Gonna go back for the mega. And here, I'm going to take an all-in chance, because I know that he's likely going to fight for this heavy, and I know there's enough time to try to get there and combat him, and if he's fighting on the platform, he can't charge to fight me. So we come through here. I'm doing good damage, but those are nice rockets from him, and it knocks me to a bad area. And right here, as soon as like I got knocked over the other side, I'm like, okay, this fight is totally turned on its head, and I just need to deal max damage. I'm going to die. So I do. He does a lot of damage. I decide not to try for this because he has rail and I don't want to take a free rail off spawn now that you don't spawn with 100 armor anymore. And I'm like, I'll just protect the lead. I'll get LG. I'll get this armor, and I'll go get rail instead. And I'll play for the next set of items. No big deal. So this is nice. This is very nice from him to hit the rail and go in right away. Good kill. But it's very messy. And this is where he loses the game. This is why it's very important to understand where you're going to manipulate spawns. And here, this is what happens sometimes. People get baited into collecting the gun because either A, they need the ammo, or they're trying to prevent the player from respawning and collecting a free gun. But in this case, with how close Mega and Heavy are together, and he should know that. He should know how close they are together and are the approximate timing. Him moving towards this nail area literally gives me a 50-50 chance to spawn at LG, and look what happens. I spawn at LG. Whereas if he doesn't go for the weapon, and he just fucking leaves it, and he just secures the Mega, he will likely get the Mega and the Heavy, and if I could test for Heavy, I might even die again. Because he's got all the guns in the world to fight with, and I don't. I just have, like, machine gun and grenades. But him going for that there screwed him over. And now he's piped. Because now I'm going to get everything.
clean him up with the LG, trying
I
to
get the Mega.
trade, almost managed
And I
to
say,
get
I
it.
don't give a shit that you're weak. I'm gonna go get the heavy now. And now I'll look for you.
I think it was as well. And a couple of
Let's
RAISY
get myself a
gold
rail.
major item.
Come through rocket. I don't care if you're there.
Big stack.
Hit a nice shot. Move on with my life.
Can just absorb that damage running into the
Just
room.
trying to deny even more light armors from him. I catch him here. And even if he has charge here, I'm going to take this fight because he's going to do minuscule amount of damage. I just catch him. He can't go anywhere. Free kill. And I know that if I go, and it's fucking pause. I don't know why it kept unpausing. God. All right. So it's also very important here. Spawn manipulation. Again, the do's and don'ts. As soon as this fight's happening, I know once I get this kill, the Mega is first. If I start going towards the heavy, he's going to spawn on the LG. So I immediately start moving towards the LG so that he cannot spawn there. So that, yes, he might spawn at rocket and he might try to push me and contest me, but it's not a good fight for him to take. It's better for me to go here, to rush my way over here, get this, and now based off the fact that I didn't hear him at rocket, I know he's either over here at the portal or he's going to rail. Then I hear the rail pick up and I know, oh, okay, I get another free heavy.
Rapha knows exactly how long it will take him to drop down, get that frank, and get back for both major items.
And so now I'm just playing it slow. I know he doesn't have a lot of weapons.
And it goes back to full again.
Just trying to create some bad fights for him where he doesn't have many options. He charges, and then here, this is the first time in the game where I've messed up when he has charged me, where I've fucked up the alignment of the shot once I've been hit. Because I could have done a lot of damage with shotgun to grenade combo as soon as he hit me, but when he bounced me, I missed just to the right. So he's still okay, but I'm going to keep fighting because I need to just deal max damage. Because even if he gets the Mega, there's not much time between Mega and Heavy, and he would only be like 140 health max. Something like that, which I have more health. I can try to choke him out from the quickest pathway with grenades. I can fight for it, and I can turn it around if he overextends himself. So I hear him go through the portal. I know he's even late for that, so this shit is free. And I just spam this just as a courtesy to myself, like just in case he shows up. And I'm just going to move through here anyway, because I figured in my mind that he's going to collect the armor, collect the Mega, and he should know he's completely outstacked. He cannot fight for this heavy. So he should maybe go to rail and start getting the light armors and just try to, play for more time. Instead, he shows up here and he gives me the fight that I want. Very close range with rockets and grenades. And this should be game now. I'm up 4 with 3.5 minutes left. I'm stacked. He doesn't have charge. I've caught him again. And he's dead. And what did I do? I RJ'd over as fast as I could so that, guess what? He doesn't spawn at LG. He spawns over like near rocket or something. So I'm listening out for where he is. That's why I moved back this way to see if I could catch him coming through the door. He decided to double back. No big deal. I'm like, okay, he just has rockets. I'll let him take heavy. I'll take Mega. And I'll just try to catch him. I don't. No big deal. Nice shot. I didn't hear the jump pad, so it's actually a big surprise to me, the rockets that were coming from behind. It was like just at the perfect range that when he took the jump pad, I couldn't hear it at the portal, and then that sound didn't transfer as I went through. So that could have turned bad, but it's not. No big deal. Guess what's up at the basically the same time, the Mega and the Heavy, so I'm holding the position between them. I hear him there. I know he's likely going towards the portal. So I'm just trying to make him think twice about entering. If he enters, I drop immediately and start taking angles where it's almost impossible for him to hit me with charge. So I hit a nice rail there, and I know we're going to fight right away. Just need to keep backing up. And then just keep dealing max damage at the end of the charge. And yeah, look. He's so weak. When I spawn at rail, I get the armor. He can't fucking defend. He gets killed. And boom, I'm up 5 again. No worries. So here, I could just take the fight. And then as soon as I need to, I can just back up to heavy. Which I do. Oops. And so now, unfortunately, I missed the nice easy rail. And I shouldn't have died after all this exchange, but I miss a bunch of shots. He gets a kill, but in my head, I'm like, it's fine. I'm up 4. I'm keeping track of the timing. What should I do next? Keep problem solving. What's the next thing to do? What's the game plan? What do I need to do? What do I need to avoid? And so I know that he likely can't defend Rocket right away with how weak he was. He had to go somewhere else, so I managed to get myself some guns, and now I'm making myself difficult to kill again. In between Mega and Heavy. Just making myself difficult to kill again. He has to drop down on me, and then now he's taken all this damage, and now he's charging. Which, it's like, it's just, you know, desperation. So I take the damage there, and then I can move in and kill him after.
Yeah, this is overdone. I think we knew it was over a couple of minutes ago, but that was basically just for extra.
Yep, and now I'm just looking for him at, like, you know, predictable spots, going for weapons. This is just garbage time, where I could just clean up his attempts. Like, he's still trying. He just has to make desperate plays. So, just makes him much easier to hit. And you know, like, dude, if I was online, like, at home, I would not have hit that hard. Like, so many times I should win fights on this map there online, and I don't fucking win it, because one thing or another. But having LG that actually hits hard feels so good. So good to be able to play the way that you're supposed to be able to play. Now, granted, there are some games where online it feels fine. But just the last, like, ever since, like, after, like, started happening during stage 2 of last season, just the routing from here just kept getting worse and worse and worse for me. And so it was much harder to play and to execute as well as usual. Correct, Divine. I preferred in that Rocket fight to dying and respawning with more stack because of the lead that I had. If the game was closer, I would have taken what I could get there. And then just tried to work at it from there.
In old form, I like to call it, but back at his peak, I'd like to say, from what we saw there. And RAISY, yeah, he seemed a bit uncomfortable in some of the
Necro, it was really, really nice
it's a shame we didn't see a bit more of that, but
to play on LAN again. It's tough to put into words.
You kind of felt like RAISY was potentially questioning himself as well.
He did.
This has been, to be honest, when things feel fine between both players, this is the best netcode around, hands down, for playing online. As much as, you know, players bitch about this or that, I never want to go back to another netcode. I can actually play and compete against Europeans online. I could play and compete against South Americans online. Any other netcode, that is not possible at the highest level. You will always lose with the high ping. Like, the way that it, like, feels and balances itself out between, like, you know, like, especially like 100 to 120 ping is much more playable. 140, it gets a little weird from time to time, but overall it's still, like, doable. Like, I'm very thankful that we've been able to play all these matches online for the last couple of years. And we didn't have to stop playing. So, but to play on LAN again was very, very nice. This was like at a LAN center, like a internet cafe that's in London. So, but yeah, I'm kind of done. I'm not gonna do the Avec games right now. I'll do them either tomorrow or what is losing track of days with all the travel stuff. So either Thursday or Friday, I will do more review stuff. But for now, that's that. And I'm going to play some. But first, I'm going to take the dogs out. I'm going to put my food in the fridge, and then I'll be back, and I'll start getting some Quake going. So I'll see y'all in just a little bit. No, Potatka, it really comes from having played sports growing up and having that kind of mindset. Watching sports, you know, dealing with 0-4 helping me, like right near like the end, like the last like hurdle I needed. Thanks for the you know, from being great to, well, I don't know, to trying to achieve greatness and like what it takes to do that. And a lot of like how I play is like, even though I don't like poker because poker is a little too slow for me, but a lot of it applies with the whole positive EV and negative EV type deal. It's very applicable in Quake as well. But yeah, I haven't been like reading stuff or whatever now. Not that's a bad thing to do that, or I just haven't. What is mostly what 0-4 was trying to grind into my head is that at the time what my playstyle was is it was good, but I relied on hard reads working way too much and certain traps. And the thing is, if they work, it's great. But if I fail or people read it correctly and they don't even show up, etc., it can give away games or give away control that doesn't need to be done. And to try to play for the percentages more and just certain mindset things going into LAN, especially about like you need to be able to win. How do you win when you're not playing your A game? Because when you're nervous or like you're on a new setup, you're not always going to be able to be playing at your best, but you still have to find ways to win. And so how to do that and all and whatnot. So I have enough. Get it. Is there even a zombie ranger skin? Or is it just profile? Because that would be kind of cool if they had like a zombie ranger skin. But I don't think they do. Yeah, see, where's the zombie ranger skin? Alright, I'm just going to restart the stream real quick so that the title for the VOD is separated so people can watch what they want. So I will be right back. 30 seconds.